Hi everyone. I'll just give you a little video tour of what things will look like now that we're switching to online instruction officially next week. So let's see, I'm going to start actually down in the calendar here. I know online instruction will be different for sure, but one thing I want to try and keep the same is having the calendar be kind of like a one-stop shop place. And notice, got rough ideas outlined for the rest of the semester, actually, going all the way through April. So you can always click on all these events and such just to see roughly what it looks like, what subjects will take place when. And main things that are just different now is just notice there aren't like dedicated days for review before each module test. That's basically the main difference with the calendar, since so we got cut 1 week short. But there is still at least one full day dedicated to final review, and then the final exam later on. But uh, since we'll be in an interesting online format, the final exam won't necessarily, or may not necessarily need to be completed on that day specifically. It could be turned in by Friday the 29th, possibly. And let's see, before I go back to the current month, just want to show you here the withdrawal deadline, in case you weren't already notified, has been extended to May 8th, in case you might need that. Or yeah, and also that up until that point, you can get an excused withdrawal just due to all the COVID-19 complications. But back to the current month, so notice the events for this week are more updated here. So I want to just start with our kind of first quote-unquote day back, being like time to just kind of review content that, unfortunately may not have seen for about 3 weeks now, and just kind of adjusting to online learning. And so there are some things that I want you to fill out, and I've linked those also in this assignment right here. Now, this is important to know for online instruction. That's just a quick survey so that I can get a gauge of who's got what sort of technology in the class, and that can be used for our instruction. There's also this thing right here called a when is good, which will be something you can fill out so we can solidify time for office hours. But and I'll show you what that looks like in just a little bit. Just want to let you know all those links are there. Then having, let's see, this day mostly dedicated to starting the next chapters, chapter 7 on confidence intervals. And start making some YouTube videos here. So I put the links to the videos directly in this event. And in the future, what I may do, since this takes up a lot of space here, is just put down directions as to which videos to watch in YouTube. And I'll show you where links are at for YouTube and such as well. There's some homework problems. And then what I was thinking for the Module 2 test is that it'll actually be due on Friday of this week, so April 10th by midnight. And basically that Module 2 test, this will be kind of weird timing, but it'll probably be one of the best ways to go about it since we kind of lost some time for the class. So it'll be due on a Friday instead of our usual Tuesdays and Thursdays. And that may be something to create online afterwards, or it might have you scan and send in a paper submission of some sort. I want to show you that first. Okay, now I'll actually go to the course itself. Just click on the one with the Spider-Man here. And so I changed up the course shell just a little bit. So now when you come in, it'll take you to this home page. And just notice there's a few different things here now. So I already mentioned before there was that survey on the calendar, and there's also this thing right here called when is good, which you fill out for times you're available to um, or times that work for you for office hours, and then we'll try and pick a best time. For the first week, we're kind of back. I went ahead and go ahead and have the office hours be Tuesday, Thursday from 2 to 3, just since that's around our usual class time anyways, and just something to start with. Now, see, I'm going to switch this to student view here so you kind of see what you're seeing. And all you have to do with the when is good is when you open it up, then basically you just highlight in green whichever times do work best for you. And when you send in your response, please just make sure to put in your name down here, and maybe in the comments, maybe put your preferred time, because everything for when you're available will be highlighted in green. Just put your preferred time maybe in the comments, and I'll take that into consideration when I decide on office hours times. Then as for how we'll do office hours, we're going to use a platform called Zoom, and I'll use this link here in just a bit to show you kind of what happens there. Basically, it's a video conferencing we can use for office hours, and there's all sorts of screen sharing abilities that will make things pretty nice. Now, when you do log into this, you won't see it on my video here, but when you log in, you'll be prompted for a password. And this password is just stats rules, all lowercase, and just to make it easy. And just to keep everything online safe and secure, please don't share this password with anyone outside of the class or this link, because there's been plenty of cases of, unfortunately, people hacking into Zoom meetings and such, and we want to prevent that. What happens when you do click on this is you'll probably be prompted to download Zoom the first time you try it. But so I'm going to go ahead and open Zoom, and I've already got it downloaded on my computer. So now it's going to take me to basically setting up an audio meeting, and now everyone can see me here because it's accessing my webcam, and we would have essentially like office hours meeting this way. But I'm going to go ahead and end this one here and just go back to the other part of the video. So that's what you can find on the home page. And just make sure, please fill out that when is good so we can solidify a time for office hours. I just want to kind of take you through some of these tabs over here, just what all is available now. And just at least keep checking announcements regularly. There's no new ones at the moment, but that's where I'll be posting new announcements. That'll just be important for our class as we continue in online. And Pages is going to be a real important place to come, actually, just to see where you can find resources and such. Now, since the pages are a little different now, all you have to do is click on View All Pages. It'll take you to the different types here. So I want to show you some stuff in the online resources. There's plenty of links to resources here, most of them all from the community college district. So, for example, this one takes you to a bunch of video tutorials on Canvas and Zoom. So things that you can all use to kind of help you out with this online transition. Then some other good things I think would be good to look over, especially while, hey, you might be bored at home. So these would be some great things to look over and just get yourself ready for online learning. They've got tips for success, all sorts of stuff here. My biggest piece of advice or tip for success really in online learning is just stay on top of things, read instructions thoroughly, and keep a planner of some sort. Will probably be most all you need just to be successful. Then let's see, there's other tutorials available here as well, so that may be something good to look at. Then there's also even COVID-19 specific frequently asked questions if you ever want to look at those. There's plenty of stuff to look at here. Now, there will still be some tutoring resources available provided through the college. And just know, probably what I'd suggest that you can do also is first just email me or try to get hold of me if you want to schedule a one-on-one appointment or for office hours. I can help you out at some point. Then if you want to go do a tutoring option as well, there's two ways or two sources here to go through that. Just come to the Canvas shell. Notice they have a message right now just saying that technically this week that I'm recording this video is spring break, so that's why that message is there. And you can read through all that, but basically the process you'd go through for scheduling tutoring is first try and schedule a Zoom one-on-one appointment with a tutor. If there aren't any tutors available for one-on-one, Start.ca is a medium where you can do drop-in tutoring, and then NetTutor would be the next medium that you can do drop-in tutoring with. So you can access all the tutoring through there, but you can also access it off that link, which just takes you to their website, which has all the same information essentially. Then, oh, actually, wait, there's one more thing on that page, sorry, just What'll be very useful for the class now that we're in an online format is having some way you can take actual scans of papers and then submitting those, say with a smartphone or a printer. So if you have a smartphone and you want to take a scan of a page and turn it into PDF, Cam Scanner is a good app to use for that. As well as Genius Scan is one that I've been using for a long time for scanning documents, and it works very well. So I'll make a separate video on how to use Genius Scan because it's free and it works very well. Alright, then next just wanted to show you on this page here. So the other tools was still this normal distribution calculator that'll take you to that Statsmetric website that we've used before for other applets. And notice there's a YouTube channel, which this link will take you to YouTube channel I created that will have a playlist of the different videos and such, and that will be good for the course. So this video that I'm making now will probably be posted in this playlist, Online Course Help. And that stuff starting with Chapter 7, that's all going to be in this confidence intervals playlist. Alright, and then there's some other stuff on this page for Zoom that you can look at as well. Again, there's that same link that'll take you to the Zoom room or that Zoom meeting place you can use for office hours, same password. Then there's a couple other videos here provided by another Mesa instructor for how to use Zoom from both a computer or your smartphone. And let's see, talking about just briefly assignments. You can see all assignments when you go on this tab, which you may have seen some of that already. Just notice that I'm changing the weekly participation grades just to actually say participation now, since we won't be able to do too much with attendance for the remainder of the course. You can come to quizzes. Notice from when we get back, made a new version of a Module 2 practice test, just so that we've got more review. And then here's where that one survey I mentioned before, you can find it here as well, just to help me know like who has what sort of technology that we can use for the course, and just so I know just where we stand and what sort of things will be helpful for us. And you can also come to this discussions tab where I just made one discussion thread here where basically this is open for all of you to post questions and then maybe help each other answer the questions as well. If you come to this tab, Confer Zoom, see, it's giving me an error right now, but this will be another spot that you can see where maybe some scheduled Zoom meetings will show up. But you can also just use that link that was in the home page or go on to the Zoom pages as well. Maybe last thing here is just if you click on this link for NetTutor, here's just another place that you can start finding some tutoring options. You can also still find those on that other page that I was showing you earlier. Right, and yeah, at least you can still find course files in here like you would have been able to before. But that's pretty much everything that I wanted to just kind of show you with what the setup of the course shell and such is going to look like from there. So please make sure to keep an eye on email frequently. Just check back to this site and announcements regularly so you can just kind of stay on top of everything that you need to for the class.